How are you doing today? Trust your weekend has been great, has been splendid. Trust your week has been wonderful so far. Yeah, today is it's a first Friday in the month of September. Welcome to September. Welcome to the Ember month. You know, September to remember, the slang. Yes, Accept Recovery, we welcome you today for our first session, first edition in the month of September. And we have an interesting, a wonderful topic to discuss with you. And for the couple of let me just say the whole of September is going to be on this same, that keyword. When I drop the topic, it's just going to be about that, and we'll be discussing more about it. But today, we needed to enlighten the general public, our fans, our viewers, that okay, let us look more into what bad debt is all about. What's bad debt and what debt is. But basically, we've been talking about debt recovery, things you need to do when you want to recover debts. Even for those people that had bad debts, how to manage your debts out amidst other things. We've talked about a lot of series so far. But today, we'll be sharing a little insight on bad debts and implication and its consequences. So we want to enlighten our viewers out there. When you're having bad debts, what are the implications it has on you? What are the consequences? So let me ask this question, that when you are getting loan, when you are borrowing money, or when you are going into debt, do you feel hot? Like, just deep down in you, ask yourself that question, that borrowing money, how does it feel? Do you like it? Is it that when you get the money, you're enjoying, you're happy, you're feeling the vibe, or you're feeling sober because you know what implication it's going to bring on you if you're not able to pay, if you're not able to meet up with your targeted time to return that money back? So today, like I said, we'll be talking about the implication and the consequences of, when you are having bad debts, or when you defaulted, the consequences, the implication that's going to happen to you. Okay, so I also want to say that, that when you are getting money and, or you want to use it for something, or you are even borrowing, or even when you're signing the loan papers, do you feel, how do you feel when you are unable to pay the money back? When you couldn't meet up with the target, how do you feel? Do you feel happy about it, or you feel sad? Do you enjoy it? So today, I know those that I've had experiences of money collectors, debt collectors calling you. Your phone is buzzing with calls, and you're receiving messages like, so person is a fraudster, is a thief, he borrowed money from so. Or even when they call your friends and family, and your friends and family are calling you, they're on your neck, they're like, go and pay so money. When did you borrow money? All these things. Today we'll be shedding more light on it for those people out there that does not know what implication it is, how it feels when you borrow money and you couldn't pay back, and that money got into something else, and it becomes a bad debt for you to manage properly. So going further, what are the implications? The first implication, and more or less like a consequence, is that when you're even about to pay back, it costs you more money. That's what you don't know, because when you borrow this money and you're unable to pay back, interest starts getting on it, and when the interest starts accumulating, then the money keeps becoming much. For example, let's say you plan to borrow 5,000 naira, and you have to pay back, let's say 7,000 naira, and unfortunately you couldn't pay back. Maybe you were given 7 days countdown to pay, and your salary was meant to come in, let's say September 1st, and as of now you haven't seen your salary, and the money you got due today. In fact, before the day of the money got due, I'm very sure that a lot of people, collectors, like agents, recovery agents, will have start calling you days before to remind you that your loan will go due on so day. And even when your loan got due, they will start calling you, and if you don't pick up, or you pick up, that's when you start hearing a lot of words, insultive and embarrassing, that for most people, what they do when they call their clients, they call to insult, embarrass, even though it is not the right thing to do. we've actually talked about that for money lenders and also recovery agents. It is not right for you to call people and embarrass them because they could not pay back. There are other measures you can take to recover your money, but that is not what we're talking about today. So as we are saying, bad debts or you not being able to pay back cost you more money, because when you default, you don't have the ability to pay back at the time you are meant to pay back. Additional money comes in, and that additional money can actually be used to solve another thing. Let's say by Monday, before you knew it, your 5,000 naira, which you were meant to pay 7,000 naira, by Monday had increased to 8,000. Trust me, that 1,000 naira, you can use it to eat mama put. You can even use it to go to any fancy restaurant that, at least, even if it is their meat pie you can afford, you will still use it for yourself. But at the end of the day, you're paying it as a default fee. So which is actually another, though a loss for you, basically, because you could have used that money for something else. Okay, so another thing that bad debts cause, like another implication and consequences is, you pay more. Like I said, it's cost you more money. You pay more because interest accumulates. That is one factor you all need to know. For those of you that are out there and you are thinking of, okay, you really need this money urgently and you want to borrow from, let's say, money, all these loan apps, they're out there, it costs you more money. It costs you more money. That's the truth. And because you pay more, definitely you're already having a specified interest you need to pay. You borrowed 5,000, your specified interest was to be 2,000. At the end of the day, you couldn't make up with your 2,000. Now you are paying additional 4,000 to it. So your debt is already increasing to, let's say, 10,000. And before you know it, gradually, if you neglect that even 10,000 you are meant to pay, give it a space of 1 week, it has increased. That's when then you start like, how much did I borrow? How much am I paying? And then it start becoming additional pressure. It start becoming a burden on the individual, which is actually not meant to be. And also, I would like to say this. One major mistake most people make, and I would advise and also plead that please, our dear viewers out there, don't use debt to pay debt. It's not done. It's not proper. You're actually complicating the matters for yourself. You don't need to borrow money from a loan app A to pay loan app B. And you now think you will borrow money from loan app C to pay loan app B. You will keep on rotating. And let me ask you, when do you want to have a peace of mind? Because your mind will not be settled. You will be disturbed, you will be worried. And mind you, all these loan apps has a targeted time, date, month. So if you are borrowing money for a month, good luck to you. You know that, okay, within the space of a month, something might have worked out and you are able to see the money. But for in case it is just like 7 days. So tell me, how do you want to do it? So please and please, our dear viewers out there, don't you make that mistake of using debt or using loans to pay loans. It's not proper. So as we are discussing, another implication is that bad debts encourages you to spend beyond what you can bear. Yes, you already have your budget, but because you're already having outstanding debt, you have to spend more, and you don't have a choice because you need to pay off the debt. At the same time, you have other needs, other bills, other things to do. You have people looking up to you, calling you for money, and so on and so forth. So bad debt, or you borrowing money and you could not able to pay, makes you to spend more and beyond what you can bear, what you can at that moment, what you can spend. It extends your budget limits because you're adding extra. You're adding extra to it. The extra you could have used for other things, you're bringing it into it. Okay, for example, you are owing, let's say, a sum of 50,000 naira, and you know what your income is at the end of the month. That, okay, by the time you are paying this money, all you have left is just change. And mind you, your child, they are about to resume school and you still have other bills to pay. So because your loan has accumulated to 50,000 naira, you don't have any choice. You need to pay it, clear it off, because you will want to avoid the cases of, I don't want this money to keep on increasing, so I have to keep running, I have to keep doing my best, making sure that I pay this money off. But mind you, while you are doing that, you are actually taking out of what you could have used to settle other things. And that is why we'll be coming to the last point for today, that bad debt, makes you to spend from your future pay, your income, your savings. You don't have any choice. You just have to dip your hand into that pocket that you've planned to save. Look, maybe for let's say Christmas is coming, December, and you just have this pockets where you keep things, and because you're having outstanding debt and you're tired with the embarrassment, you're tired with the insults, you're tired with all the buzzing of your phone, the messages, family calling you, you won't have any choice. You would just see, let me just take this money, pay them off. That is what you're going to be after. And it's the issue of bad debts is so high that a lot of people fall into depression because they could not manage it well. So our dear viewers, I don't want you to fall that victim. For those of you out there, we understand the economic inflation as it is now. Everybody, things are really high in the markets, the cost price is increasing, transportation is not smiling at everybody out there. Even feeding is saying its own, and your salary is just small, and you're thinking of, okay, you want to go out there, borrow money from friends, from hubs. Please and please look into it very well. What are the implications? Is it going to call on you? Is it going to fall on you before you do it? And like I said earlier on, please don't make that mistake of using debt to pay debt. It's not proper. It's not done. So, our dear viewers, we have to roll the curtain for today, and I'm going to promise you that next week I'm going to continue this session, and we'll go deeply into it more and more, and where we're going to be shedding more light on how bad debt can affect our health, how it can affect our mental state. Don't worry, just stay cool with us. If you have any question, any suggestion, any comment, you have the comment box right there. Drop it there. We'll definitely